Welcome everybody. This meeting of the Liverpool Plains Shire Council is being live streamed to Council's website. A webcast of this meeting will be published to Council's website at www.liverpoolplains.newsouthwales.gov.au so that it is available for viewing by members of the public. Acknowledgement accompanying Council prayer. I will now recite acknowledgement accompanying Council prayer. Today we gather on the land of the Kamilaroi Nation. We therefore acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of this land. We also pay our respects to the Aboriginal elders, both past and present, and further extend that respect to other adults who have joined us today. Council prayer. Lord, we ask that you watch over this council, guide us in our deliberations and decisions for the betterment of all the people of the Shire of our Shire in Australia. Thank you. Apologies and applications for leave of absence. Councillor Moles has submitted a leave of absence from the 22nd to the 25th of October 23, and I will invite other apologies and applications for leave of absence. The recommendation that the apologies from Councillor Moles be received and accepted. Is there a mover? Councillor Lawson, seconded Councillor Cohen. All those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 3.1, minutes of the council meeting held on the 23rd of August 2023. The recommendation that the minutes of the council meeting held on the 23rd of August 23 be received and the recommendation therein be adopted. Is there a mover? Councillor Cudmore, seconded Councillor Lawson. Did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Cudmore?
I think it was today.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Disclosures of interest. There being nil disclosures that have been made. Item 5, the minute. 5.1, the recommendation to receive and note the mayoral minute, and I wish to move this report. Is there anyone wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Carried. As the next item on the agenda is the election of Mayor and Deputy Mayor, I will vacate the seat of Mayor and hand over to the returning officer.
Councillors, as you would know, it is time to have an election for the office of Mayor and Deputy Mayor. Prior to the meeting, a notice was sent out to all councillors asking for nominations for candidate for election of Mayor and Deputy Mayor. As of at the start of this meeting, I duly received 2 nominations, one for the mayoral position and one for that of Deputy Mayor. So for the nomination for Mayor, the nomination was for Councillor Douglas John Hawkins, OAM. And Councillor Hawkins, can I please ask you to affirm that you accept that nomination?
I do.
Thank you. Given that there is only one nominee for the role of Mayor, I declare that Councillor Douglas John Hawkins, OAM, is duly elected to the position of Mayor for the remainder of this term of Council. Congratulations, Councillor Hawkins.
Thank you.
In the position for the role of Deputy Mayor, I received a nomination from Councillor Ken Cudmore. Councillor Cudmore, can you please affirm that you accept that nomination? Thank you. So, being that there is only one nomination for the role of Deputy Mayor, I declare that Councillor Ken Cudmore is elected as Deputy Mayor for the remainder of this term of Council. Congratulations. Should any councillors wish to view the nomination forms, I have them here, they'll be duly filed and returned into our system. So, Mr Mayor, you may resume the seat and take over the council meeting. Thank you.
Thanks, Jan. Thanks, councillors. 7.2, is that where we kick off? We're kicking off from 7.2.
7.2.
Item 7.2, Executive Services Report for August 2023. Recommendation that Council receive and note the Executive Services Report for August 2023. Is there a mover? Councillor Wing, seconder. Councillor Lawson, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Wing?
No, thank you, Mr Mayor.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.3, Resolution Register Update. The recommendation that Council receive and note the Resolution Register as at the 7th of September 2023, appended to Annexure A, and the Resolution Register for 2022 as appended at Annexure B. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lawson, a seconder. Councillor Cohen, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Lawson?
Just briefly, I know some of those ones from 2022, the current status of them hasn't really changed a lot, so maybe we just need to get an update of exactly what the roadblocks are to some of those ones going forward, so we know that basically whether they can proceed or what needs to be done to progress those. Thank you.
Gentlemen.
Sorry. Through you, Mr Mayor, yes, absolutely, Councillor Lawson, we can certainly do that. I have asked staff to ensure that in the resolutions update there is a more fuller update rather than in progress or something like that, so that councillors are aware of what's happening. I know the one relating to the, I think it's the boundary adjustment, that is out of council's hands and seems to be taking an inordinate amount of time, but we can certainly have a look at some of the others and provide a more full explanation as to where they're up to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Lawson. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.4, Corporate and Community Services Directorate Report for September 2023. Recommendation that Council receive and note the Corporate and Community Services Directorate briefing for September 2023 as detailed in this report. Do I have a mover? Councillor Allen, second Councillor Wilson. Do you wish to speak to it, Councillor Allen?
No, thank you, Mr Mayor.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put, sorry, Councillor Wilson.
I just noticed in there that the projected Royal Theatre was repaired and underwent detailed service, so it's good that I know that there was some difficulty in getting a part from it, so it's good to see that's been done. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Wilson. That's noted. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.5, Local Advisory Groups. The recommendation that Council 1, receive and note the minutes of the Currabubula Local Advisory Group as appended at Annexure A. 2, receive and note the minutes of the Prima Local Advisory Group as appended at Annexure B. Do I have a mover? Councillor Allen, seconder. Councillor Cudmore, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Allen?
Yes. Just to note that the 100-year anniversary at Prima, and they seem to be moving forward with a lot of good activities. It would be, I may speak to the Prima community myself, just in regards to stuff, so, no, that's it, thanks.
Thanks, councillor Allen. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.6, public interest disclosure policy. Recommendation that council, 1, adopt the draft public interest disclosure policy as appended at Annexure B to be implemented on the 1st of October 2023, and 2, rescind the internal reporting and public interest disclosure policy effective 1st of October 2023. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lawson, a seconder. Councillor Allen, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Lawson?
Just to thank the staff for their work on updating it to comply with regulations.
Thanks, Councillor Lawson. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.7, adoption of revised financial reserves policy. The recommendation that council adopt the draft financial reserves policy appended at Annexure A. Do I have a mover? Councillor Cudmore, seconded Councillor Lawson. Did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Cudmore?
No, thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.8, internally restricted funds as at the 30th of June 2023. The recommendation that council, 1, approve the transfer of internally restricted funds as at the 30th of June 2023, as detailed below. Asset management, funds set aside for replacement of existing property other than road infrastructure, plant and equipment and IT infrastructure, $1,154,075. Employee leave entitlement, funds that have been restricted to cover proportion of council's discounted leave liability, which equates to 40% coverage, $774,478. Quarry remediation, funds set aside to remediate quarry, $100,000. Financial assistance grant operational, advance payment received for operational purpose from the Local Government Grants Commission, $3,158,556. Final assistance grant for road, advance payment received for local road maintenance from Local Government Grants Commission, $1,724,618. Information technology, funds allocated by the council for the business remediation project upgrade to Civic Authority, $512,428. Funds carryover, funds unspent on work in progress projects, $375,184. Plant and vehicle replacement, funds set aside for replacement of existing vehicle, plant and equipment of the council, $1,163,330. Do I have a mover? Councillor Allen, a seconder. Councillor Cudmore, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Allen?
No, thank you, Mr Mayor.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Cudmore?
Can I just ask, the quarry remediation, is it based on tonnage removed from each quarry, or is that just an overall? We just don't have one quarry, we have several quarries in the Shire, so how does, is remediation based on the EPA or EPI or whatever that, or us?
Gentlemen?
Through you, Mr Mayor, so quarry remediation is an obligation we have at the end of a quarry life to remediate the quarry. So generally it's not filling the hole back in, it's making sure that we put topsoil in, potentially revegetate it so that it can control the water flow out of it. So it's an obligation we have for operating the quarry, but it only occurs at the end of life, which many of our quarries are a long way away from the end of life.
Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Cudmore. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.9, authorise the signing of the draft financial statements for the year ended 30th of June 2023. The recommendation that Council 1 authorise the Mayor, the Deputy Mayor, the General Manager and Responsible Accounting Officer to sign the statements by councillors and management as required for the draft financial statements for the year ended 30th of June 2023 as tabled. 2. Note that the draft Liverpool Plains Shire Council financial statements for the year ended 30th of June 2023 will be referred to Council's Auditor, the New South Wales Audit Office, in accordance with section 413(1) of the Local Government Act 1993. Do I have a mover? Councillor Cohen, a seconder. Councillor Allen, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Cohen?
No, sir.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.10, Statement of Investments for August 2023. The recommendation that Council 1 receive and note the Statement of Investments as at the 30th of August 2023 as appended at Annexure A. Do I have a mover? Councillor Cudmore, a seconder. Councillor Cohen, do you wish to speak to it, Councillor Cudmore?
No, Mr Mayor.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.11, Infrastructure and Environmental Services Directorate Report for September 2023. The recommendation that Council 1 receive and note the Infrastructure and Environmental Services Directorate Report for the month of September 2023. Do I have a mover? Councillor Allen, a seconder. Councillor Cudmore, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Allen?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.12, Werris Creek Coal Community Consultative Committee minutes of the meeting held on the 17th of July 2023. The recommendation that Council 1 receive and note the minutes from the Werris Creek Coal Community Consultative Committee held on the 17th of July 2023. Do I have a mover? Councillor Cohen, a seconder. Councillor Cudmore, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Cohen?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.13, old contribution balances. The recommendation that Council 1 formally confirm the repeal of all contribution plans except for A. Liverpool Plains Section 7.12 Contribution Plan 2022, B. Heavy Haulage Contribution Plan 2023, 2. Reallocate all funds held in the Corindai, Werris Creek and Willow Tree Section 94 Plan account to the account for the Liverpool Plains Section 7.12 Contribution Plan 2022 for these funds to be used towards the proposed works under this plan. Do I have a mover? Councillor Wynne, a seconder. Councillor Cudmore, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Wynne?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. No. Did you want to speak?
Oh, no.
Did you want to speak? No,
I'm fine.
Did you want to speak to it, Councillor Cudmore?
No.
I'll therefore put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.14, repair of Council's mobile crusher. The recommendation that Council, in accordance with clause 55, bracketed 3, bracketed I of the Local Government Act 1993, not undertake a tender for the replacement of a major chassis component of its mobile crusher as there is a sole importer within Australia, resulting in a lack of competitive tenders. Do I have a mover? Yeah. Just one. Yeah. Did you want an amendment to that, or did you want to?
I
Did
just
you want
wanted
to
to
do?
ask if it was possible to defer it pending some more information around other options.
Is there a second to have that deferred, councillor Owen? Okay. So, did you want to speak to it, councillor?
I'm all for having the crusher operational. I was just wondering if we could perhaps have some other options around perhaps sourcing a newer machine rather than repairing this one, and just have that presented as another option to this, just given the age of the machine. It may be the best option to repair this machine. I'd just like to see some comparative figures given the amount of money that's going towards it, and just whether there's any other options that we can go down, given that it's not, I'm told that it's not incredibly urgent to have that decision made today, if everyone would be in favour of that.
Thanks, councillor Lawson. That's been moved, that amendment by councillor Lawson and seconded by councillor Allen. Is there anyone wishing to speak for or against that motion? This is the amendment that councillor Lawson's put forward. Sorry.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, just to be clear, so what councillor Lawson has moved is that it be deferred, so it's not an amendment, it is an original motion, because the staff recommendation was not moved, so councillor Lawson moved an original motion which is confirmed, which is quite appropriate. It's been seconded by councillor Allen, so that is now the motion for the council, which they'll vote on. If that is successful, then we move on. It's not and then becomes not an amendment. So I know it's confusing because it's different to what's in the business plan, but I just want to be clear for all councillors that that's the process that we're going through.
Thanks, General Manager. So I guess I'll put the motion now. Those in favour of that being deferred? I'll declare that carried. Item 7.1, that's deferred. Item 7.15, draft revised 2003 bushfire prone land mapping. The recommendation that Council 1 adopt the draft revised 2023 bushfire prone land mapping prepared by the Rural Fire Service as the replacement to the 2016 bushfire prone land mapping. 2, advise the Rural Fire Service of this decision. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lawson, a seconder. Councillor Allen, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Lawson?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Allen?
Just in light of the current situation and circumstances and moving forward, that I think the Liverpool Plains Shire should be working with the RFS in all opportunities and strengthening that relationship and making sure that it's open and concise and that we continually talk with them because it's good. Thanks.
Thanks, Councillor Allen. Is there anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.16, draft revised keeping of animals policy. The recommendation that Council 1 endorse the draft keeping of animals in residential areas policy as a draft local orders policy under the Local Government Act 1993, and that it be A, placed on public exhibition for 28 days with submission to be received within 42 days in accordance with the statutory requirements, and B, outcome of the public exhibition be reported to Council. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lawson, a seconder. Councillor Cohen, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Lawson?
Just more in the form of a question. I noticed there in the background, one of the things put forward was that the application of the policy should be broadened to include closely settled areas within the rural zones. I couldn't see anything specifically in the policy that dealt with that. I was just wondering if there was, and I just wasn't understanding it. And maybe just a rundown, if possible, of what changes have been made with this policy I know I should have asked this earlier, so I understand if that needs to be taken on notice. Thanks.
General Manager?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, so in terms of broadening the policy, the existing policy we have referenced urban areas, which kind of, it linked back to our LEP. So what we've done is we've changed the, where the policy applies to align with the government rating zones. So that brings in some small localities like Warra into it because they are rated as a residential area, but they are zoned as a rural area. So that's where that change has come in. In regards to changes from the existing policy spoke to 2 animals total, but this one's now spoken to 10. The existing policy didn't identify the capacity to keep pups under, or a litter under 6 months, so they were, historically, a litter was counted in the total number. It also is looking to deal with geese, livestock, in accordance with the Local Government Act as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Lawson. Is there anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.17, Town Water Supply Status. The recommendation that Council receive and note the water supply status. Do I have a move? Councillor Cohen, seconded Councillor Wilson. Did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Cohen?
No,
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.18, Creepolly Water Project Construction Progress Report. The recommendation that Council receive and note this month's progress of the Creepolly Water Project design and construction phases. Do I have a mover? Councillor Allen, a seconder. Councillor Khan, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Allen?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Khan?
sorry, Mr. Mayor, just to note, I think that they've made another shift in the completion date slightly, by a few days out to the 22nd of December. Is it likely that that date will remain? I just wonder whether it's going to push out into the new year or not. Thank you.
General Manager?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, so within the contract, the contractor is entitled to extensions of time when there is weather, so they are obligated to meet that deadline. Seeing where they are on track, there is a lot of activity going on out there. I was out there for a site inspection myself yesterday, and there is a lot of activity going on. So at this point in time, we do anticipate they will hit that mark, however it is contingent on further potential delays due to weather.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, Councillor Khan. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Delegates' reports, nil. Notices of motion, questions with notice, nil. Confidential matters, 3. A recommendation that Council considers the confidential reports, bracketed S, listed below in the meeting closed to the public in accordance with section 10A, bracketed 2 of the Local Government Act 1993. 10.1, offer to purchase 13 Industrial Drive, 57 Dragon Street, Corinne. This matter is considered to be confidential under section 10A, bracketed 2, bracketed C of the Local Government Act, and the Council is satisfied that discussion of this matter in an open meeting would, on balance, be contrary to the public interest, as it deals with information that would, if disclosed, confer a commercial advantage on a person with whom the Council is conducting or proposes to conduct business. 10.2 RFT-081-2023 Bridge Creek Road and Girton Street Bridge construction. This matter is considered to be confidential under section 10A, bracketed 2, bracketed C of the Local Government Act, and the Council is satisfied that discussion of this matter in an open meeting would, on balance, be contrary to the public interest, as it deals with information that would, if disclosed, confer a commercial advantage on a person with whom the Council is conducting or proposes to conduct business. Do I have a move? To move, Councillor Grant, seconder. Councillor Lawson. Those in favour? Those against? Now we know that, 7.1.
I think you should do the.
Oh, confidential, sorry. Yep. Confidential matters, item 10.1. Delegate authority to the mayor and the general manager to execute all required documentation pertaining to the sale of A, lot 401 DP 1129841, 13 Industrial Drive, Corindi. B, lot 402 DP 1129841, 5 Dragon Street, Corindi. And C, lot 406 DP 1129841, Dragon Street, Corindi. This was resolved, being 6 councillors present, this was resolved unanimous, 6 councillors. Item 10.2, RFT. This is very complicated.
Yeah.
So where's our, that was which one? Apologies, councillors, added to that council delegate to the mayor and general manager to negotiate the sale of A, lot 401 DP 1129841, 13 Industrial Drive, Corindi. B, lot 402 DP 1129841, 5 Dragon Street, Corindi. And C, lot 406 DP 1129841, Dragon Street, Corindi. This was resolved, 6 councillors present and unanimous. Item 10.2, RFT 081 2023 Bridge Creek Road and Girton Street Bridge construction. The recommendation that council reject all tenders received for RFT 081 2023. 2, not invite fresh tenders as a competitive field was achieved which are over council's budget. 3, in accordance with clause 178, bracketed 3, bracketed E of the Local Government Act General Regulation 2021, enter into negotiation with the contractor in order of preference within this report. 2A, review the scope of the project to identify savings. B, understand the perceived risk of the project to potentially find savings. This was also resolved, 6 councillors present, and it was resolved, 6 councillors for and unanimous. Item 7.1. Okay, item 7.1, election of mayor and deputy mayor. And our council and community business leaders work together effectively, strategy, operate in financial responsible manner and improve long-term financial sustainability. The recommendation that council note if there is only one valid nomination received for mayor, the returning officer declare the mayor to be duly elected mayor to nominate. Councillor Hawkins was duly elected mayor. 2, note if there is only one valid nomination for deputy mayor, the returning officer will declare that the elected deputy mayor, Councillor Cudmore, to be duly elected deputy mayor. Advise the Chief Executive of the Office of Local Government or Chief Executive of Local Government New South Wales of the result of the election. Yeah. Do I have a mover for that? Councillor Khan, a seconder. Councillor Wynne. Anyone wish to speak for or against that? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. What time? 3:43. Being no further business, I declare the meeting closed at 3:43.